Police did an exemplary job of de-escalating the situation, keeping the extremists on both sides separated for the most part.
A weekend that drew national attention comes to a close. This morning, we're taking stock of the protests that put Portland on edge, from the arrests to how it impacted businesses. And more gun violence in Salem. A woman is killed outside a local bar in the 5th shooting this month. And move over. It's a road habit that can make the freeway commute that much harder.
It's a big complaint here in Washington. Everyone's honking at you and waving at you and telling you that you're so special as they're passing you on the right.
In a new edition of Driving Me Crazy, Chris McGinnis is talking about left lane hogs. And Canby's Dahlia Festival kicks off this weekend. Drew Carney checks out the flower displays. KGW News at Sunrise starts right now.
All right, before we get to those stories, we do have breaking news in Salem. This is what crews in Salem are fighting. A huge fire burning at a wood pallet business that's been going on for at least 3 hours now this morning.
A lot of people have been calling the station, telling us that they can see those flames from miles away. Christine Pitawanich is live in Salem this morning with the latest from fire crews. Christine.
Good morning. Yeah, we're just off Salem Industrial Road. We're at Oregon Pallet. I can step aside and you can see these crews really are working hard to make sure they get a handle on these flames. In fact, we just got an update from Salem Fire. They say they've been able to stop the fire from spreading and are working on putting it out now. But a man we spoke to earlier says, yeah, he could see the glow of these flames all the way from Woodburn. When he got here, he heard explosions. He described fireballs. Salem Fire tells me their crews got here just before 3 a.m. And when they got here, they saw just how big this fire was. So they immediately upgraded the fire, brought more crews out from different agencies in the area. At this point, of course, more investigation needs to happen, but they say it started in some grass, they believe, near the railroad tracks, then spread here to the wood pallets at Oregon Pallet on Salem Industrial Road. Fortunately, Salem Fire says no buildings are threatened, and to their knowledge, no one is hurt. But, you know, we spoke with the owner of Oregon Pallet, and wow, she got quite the wake-up call this morning.
Some trucks, some machinery, a lot of wood, a lot of pallets, wood waste. You know, we're a wood fiber recycling company, so, you know, we have a lot of wood waste in there as well, so very flammable.
Okay, and you know, she's also said she's very grateful to firefighters for working hard here. In addition to the wood pallets that are burning up, she's also got trucks and other machinery that have been destroyed, totaling, she says, millions of dollars in damage. Fortunately, insurance will be taking care of that. Meantime, fire officials will be here for hours, containing this fire, putting it out, also investigating. And just so you know, Salem Industrial Drive is closed in the area. Police are blocking the road at Bill Frey Drive and Portland Road Northeast, but we're going to continue to stay on scene, let you know how this develops. Back to you.
All right, what a mess. That is going to burn for a long time. Glad no one is hurt. Christine, thank you. We're going to be checking in with her every 30 minutes. You can also find our latest updates on our website.
Well, the nation had its eyes on Portland this weekend as dueling protests filled the waterfront Saturday. Now, overall, Mayor Ted Wheeler said police did an exemplary job of de-escalating the situation. Police estimated a crowd of about 1,200 showed up to the demonstrations, and they arrested 13 people.
Most people were charged with disorderly conduct. 2 of them, though, were actually taken to jail. This is Alexander Dial. We're told he's facing attempted assault and weapons charges. With the other, there's a bit of a weird hurdle. Police say they still haven't been able to confirm this man's name, so they're just calling him John Doe. Officers seized a number of weapons during the protest. These are some of them: knives, shields, lumber, bear spray, even a stun gun.
So we're talking about Saturday's protest in this morning's poll. We want to know if the demonstrations impacted your plan. Now, while you get out your phones to vote, we're hearing from downtown business owners. Some say their customers were nowhere to be found on Saturday, while other businesses didn't even bother opening. Here's KGW's Brittany Folkers.
Every weekend, from March to Christmas Eve, you'll find owner of Spoiled Cat, Carla Kaminsky, at the Portland Saturday Market.
Oh, well, my husband and I have been doing this for 20 years.
That includes during Saturday's protests. It started along the waterfront, blocks away, but that was enough to keep customers out of downtown.
Well, it was tense. You could tell that people were uncomfortable because of the things that were going around in the media about staying out of downtown because of the event that was coming.
And that took a bite out of business.
It was really down. It was probably since March, yesterday was our slowest day of the year.
These are small businesses. No one's getting rich here. They're handcrafted artisans. We're a relatively small nonprofit, and several $1,000s hurts us.
Saturday Market Executive Director Howie Beerbaum says the organization lost thousands of dollars in revenue, and about a third of their vendors stayed away. Vendors like Amy Tatala Beck.
I decided to paint on whatever I had laying around, and it turned into a business.
The painter says with all the hype around the protest and safety concerns from police, she decided to stay home.
So all of the waterfront was being restricted, and we decided that we felt safe, but we just knew that business was not going to be good down here.
Not far down Nadeau Parkway, those pink gray line sightseeing tours were back on the road after owner David Beagle canceled routes Saturday over concerns of safety for his employees, the guests, and their vehicles.
When there's a roving protest, you can't run on any kind of schedule, and you can't really run on a consistent route. So it was the wisest to shut down. And we also were advised by the police department.
At least 4 employees were called off from the job, and Beagle estimates the day was a $5,000 to $6,000 loss. But he's glad he kept his crew and trolleys safe.
The trolleys chose not to run, and that was the best decision.
Beagle and the market vendors weren't alone. Businesses like Moonstruck Chocolate on Alder Street, downtown Starbucks, and Nike all shuttered their doors Saturday for what turned out to be a relatively peaceful protest.
It could have turned the other way. I just wish everything was peaceful and organized and permitted, so it was predictable for everyone involved, including the citizens of Portland.
Brittany Folgers, KGW News.
Again, this morning, we want to hear from you. Did Saturday's protests impact your weekend plans? You can let us know at kgw.com/vote or by clicking on the Vote tab in our KGW News app, and you can see so far 57% of you say no, it did not impact your plans.
All right, well, one of the far-right demonstrators who's made a name for himself at these protests will be in court this morning on a riot charge. According to a Facebook event, Joey Gibson will speak on the courthouse steps right before he's arraigned. Gibson is the leader of Vancouver-based Patriot Prayer, and he was at the protest Saturday after turning himself in on a warrant to police the day before. So the riot charge he faces stems from a brawl outside a Northeast Portland bar May 1st. 4 others have been arrested in that brawl. Cider Riot, that's the pub, their owner has since filed $1 million lawsuit against Gibson and other right-wing protesters. Gibson has taken a fundraising online to cover his legal fees.
I heard the shooting like bam, 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 like 5 times, 5 shots.
Police are working to solve another deadly shooting in Salem after a woman was killed yesterday morning. A man was also injured. This is the 5th shooting in the Salem area this month and the 3rd time someone has died. Police say the victim in this most recent incident is 40-year-old Jennifer Black. Someone shot her and a man outside the Pine Street bar around 1:30 Sunday morning. One witness says the two were just standing in the parking lot with a group of people when a man showed up and started shooting. Police have not located a suspect, but they say they're doing their best to solve this and other shootings.
We really care about the community, and so it's hard to see these types of things go on and this kind of violence take place. But we're working really hard to try and solve these crimes.
So if you have any information about yesterday's shooting, you're asked to contact police.
All right, time now for your Monday Morning Rush. An Ohio man is under arrest accused of threatening a Jewish center on Instagram. Police say 20-year-old James Reardon posted a video showing him firing a semi-automatic rifle with a caption that alluded to a future shooting. Police found semi-automatic weapons and ammunition at his house. A Florida man is also facing charges after police got a series of text messages threatening a mass shooting. People across the country gathered this weekend demanding Congress take action to reduce gun violence. This one in New York was one of more than 100 across the country. Participants are calling for gun control legislation, including background checks on all gun sales. Afghanistan's president is vowing to eliminate all safe havens of the Islamic State group following a horrific wedding attack that killed at least 63 people this weekend. It is raising questions of whether an approaching deal between the U.S. and the Taliban can bring peace to the region. Heavy rains didn't stop thousands of pro-democracy protesters from taking to the streets of Hong Kong. Police were largely hands-off, but Chinese state media continues to showcase paramilitary force, and police have been doing massive security drills just 20 miles from Hong Kong. Incredible video out of Spain of wildfires that have forced thousands from their homes. This is on one of Spain's Canary Islands. Fire crews really worried those flames could spread, and evacuation orders are in place for some 40 towns in that area. And that was your Morning Rush. All right, Rod is joining us now just in time to give a shout out to our viewers in Albany this morning, because Friday you were on the road, my friend, in Albany. A lot of people got up early to meet you at the carousel.
And you may remember I put my hand on that one Chinese dragon that they were painting for the carousel.
Yes.
And then the lady was so sweet. She's like, "That's still wet."
I was like, it takes 6 months for those to dry.
And then he went like this with the hand, and he went like this to her back.
No way.
Now the
It was
part,
a cluster.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
the part of the dragon that I touched was dry. But still, little signage wouldn't hurt. No, we had such a great time in Albany. I mean, there were people there when we showed up at 4:30.
Amazing.
I don't know how many dozens of people came out, but you know, you folks in Albany made our morning so much fun for playing TV with us, and we can't thank you enough.
Yeah, we want to know where
Yeah.
we should send Rod next. Let us know. Send us an email or your ideas, and use the hashtag KGW Sunrise. He voted for Hawaii.
Yes.
That is not one of the
Yes.
options to click.